Hi everybody, Doreen from Door Designs. Hope you guys are all having a great day. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done a tutorial. I caught a flu bug that my husband brought home from one of his business trips, and I typically don't get sick, but this one kind of made me sick there for about a week to week and a half. So I'm better, I'm back, I've got most of my stuff caught up in my shop. I'm actually starting to design some. I've had several of you request the carrot. I'm going to be posting, I think I've got 5 or 6 actually done that I did yesterday. Here's one this one is sold. So once I get pictures taken today, I'll get those posted. I am going to do a couple more bunny wreaths, not a lot. By losing those 2.5 weeks, it really kind of put me behind the 8 ball as far as Easter designs, but I will be doing some spring ones. I'm not going to be doing Tea Towel Tuesday today. They are on sale, the 15% off, along with the wreath kits. I'm going to try and get some kits done by tomorrow to do wreath kit Wednesday, but after that, I will be back on track, and next week should be full force ahead. So today I'm going to be doing a centerpiece using this cake stand. And these are cake stands that you can get just about anywhere, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I actually got this one, which I'm taking my tag off, at Randolph Mercantile that I've used over and over. I don't use it for cakes, I just use it for different designs. What I did is I took a piece of dry foam, and this is what the dry foam looks like. And I got it I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. And what's nice, you can just cut it, I use it for designs that I'm going to keep on the inside of my home, not so much for the outside. I use regular styrofoam for that. So I just took a little bit of hot glue, glued it on the bottom, stuck it on my cake pan, and then I've covered it with moss. When I do the covering of the moss, I don't use hot glue to put my moss on. I actually use floral pins, and this is what they look like. Hope you can see that. And you can get those anywhere, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. And I use those to attach my foam. And the reason being is when I use hot glue, if I put a blob somewhere and I want a stem to go in, it's not going to go through that hot glue very well. So when I use my floral pins, everything can be attached pretty easy. So we're just going to do an Easter design, lots of greenery, florals, and then some Easter eggs and stuff. And then I'm going to use this bunny. And this bunny came from Princess Bee's Boutique, and she has an online Etsy shop, and he's about 10 inches, made of felt, just as cute as can be. So I'm going to put him up here, and then we're going to fill in all the way around. So you could, if you want, take your little skewers and poke it up through the bunny. I don't like doing that because if I want to use this next year, I may not want those holes. So I just took a piece of felt, cut it, and I took my skewers, cut them, and I glued them to the felt. So let me put a little hot glue on the ends here. And I'm going to try and not cough the whole time through this tutorial. So I put the bunny a little bit back on the edge and kind of facing out a little bit. So let's get him all nice and secure there. I'm going to hold it just for a second while the glue dries. Okay, next I'm just going to start taking some greens, different kinds of greenery that I got at, Hobby Lobby or Randolph Mercantile, just different places. And you can use any greenery. And I pulled some that kind of reminds me of like carrots and different colors of greens. And then I'm actually going to also put some light colored ferns in also. So let me start getting some of those cut up, and we'll start filling it in. While I'm cutting this, thank you for everybody who was reaching out and checking on me, making sure I was okay. Okay, since I'm not going to ship this, I'm not going to hot glue all of these in. After Easter, I'll probably take this apart and then I can reuse these in an actual design. So if I was selling this, then I would hot glue each one of these stem pieces in. So I'm just going to start, we're going to start putting some in. And I'm going to have to turn this around so I can get my different angles. So all I'm doing is just going around the perimeter of it. So that's what it's looking like. So that's basically just our first layer. So we're just going to continue doing this with all the different greeneries. I want this just to kind of look like a little outdoor, almost like a little garden that our bunny's sitting in. He's going to look nice and soft. I'm way behind on my house getting it ready for spring, but you can only do so much. And I'm putting these in at all different angles. Some of them I'm putting them up, coming upwards more. Some of them are laying flat. So here's the second one. And see how nice and light and airy our little bunny looks sitting in there? And like I said, you can use any kind of greenery you want. You don't have to put this as big as what I'm putting mine as. This one's going to go on my kitchen table. And you can use any kind of bunny head that you have, or big bunny. So now we're just going to add our third layer. You don't have to use 3 layers. You can use however many layers you want. But I want it to be nice and full. I'm going to leave a little spot kind of bare over here because I think that's where I'm going to put a bow. I'm going to cut up one more of these and then we'll add some color to it. And I want to show you, I'm putting some of the greenery coming up the back. I'm not going to cover the whole back, but I want to cover up the mechanics of where I glued the extra piece of felt to add the skewers that are holding my bunny in place. I'm going to go ahead and use all these pieces. Okay, there's 3 pieces of greenery. 4, or 1, 2, 3. I think that's 4 bushes I used. And see, I've left some hanging down long because I want to soften the edge of the cake stand. So it's still nice and light how I like it. So now let's go ahead and add some of our florals. And the bunny ears have pink and purple, some kind of a pinkish salmon, some white. So we're going to use different colors in here. And these florals came from Randolph Mercantile, but you can get these at Deco Exchange, at, gosh, just about anybody has these. These are the florals that have the 60919 on them. So I'm just going to start tearing these apart and fluffing them out. And what's nice about using that dry foam, your florals stick in there so easy. Well, I say that I might have to pick this one because this is real soft. When you tear them apart, sometimes the little pieces, you'll get 1s and 2 pieces. I still use those because it's just still an added texture. So you don't want to really throw any of it away. And one last piece. So like White Bayou, Deco Exchange, the Reese Shop, Greenery Market, all different places sell the 60919. Okay, I want you guys to see how full it looks just with that one bush, the purple. By breaking it up, you can use it. Okay, but I want to add some pinks. Kind of like some of the salmon ones. These came from, I think these actually came from Walmart. I'm going to cut some of those off. I'm going to go ahead and put all the florals in and show you what it looks like without a bow and then with a bow. Because honestly, I like it both ways. But when I don't use a bow, I get all kinds of people telling me I should have put a bow in. Okay, I'm taking the leaves off most of these because I don't like the looks of them. And I am throwing those leaves away because A, they're small, and B, I know I won't use them. So when you're doing arrangements like this, there's really no way to mess it up. You just make it as full as you want, whatever colors you want to use. You can use a lot of your leftovers if you have pieces of florals left, which if I would have had time, I would have done that. And I'm putting my florals at all different lengths because I want it to look more natural. You guys can see. And I'm going to use every one of those so I don't have any left over. Okay, there's 2. So see how right now we've got numerous colors. We've got 3 or 4 different colors of greenery showing. We've got the different colors of the purple in the first bush. And then we've got kind of some pinks and some salmon colors in the last little rose bush we did. Okay, I want to put a few picks in to kind of bring in some Eastery. So if you wanted, you could just do it like this and just do kind of a spring. You could take out the bunny when you're done and put a bigger bow or fill it in. So you can use this for different ways. I'm going to go ahead and add some Easter picks in here because I'm going to use it for Easter, but then I am going to keep this out after Easter and I'll remove my bunny. So let's go ahead and get some of these. This just came from, I think, Hobby Lobby like last year. So all I'm doing is putting in different pieces around. My little turntable that I'm using, several of you have asked about that. My husband made that for me. It's just a round piece of wood that he got at Lowe's. And he bought the turntable piece and just attached it to the bottom. Couldn't live without my stem cutter. Okay, here we go. You can see the little Eastery picks I put in. I'm going to put a couple of Easter eggs in there. And these are just from Hobby Lobby also. I'm leaving them all together on the pick. I'm just kind of pulling them apart. So what I did is I took the Easter eggs and put them at different heights. And then I took the flowers and the greenery and kind of put them in through the eggs to kind of incorporate them. Okay, this is nice and full. I'm going to grab a ribbon real quick and I'm just going to show you with a bow, but I may not put a bow in mine. The bow I'm going to do is just going to be a simple bow with a few loops. And I think I'm going to go with this purple that's got some different colors in it with some little eggs. I was going to do the pastel one, but I think it's too light. So let's add a little purple. So I'm probably going to leave about an 8-inch tail so I can kind of weave it. And I'm going to do a 3-loop bow. So I'm just going to come up about 6 inches, give it a twist. I feel better when I stand up and design than I do sitting down. I bought these zip ties at Lowe's, and I'm telling you, they're the hardest zip ties that I think I've ever used. I just took a stem off one of my greeneries and I bent it in half, and that's what I'm going to attach the bow in between and stick it down in my styrofoam. And now I'm just kind of weaving my ribbon through my greenery. There we go. My bunny was leaning back just a little bit, so I put another stick behind him to straighten him up there. And then we'll cover up that stick. Okay, guys, I think we are done. So just want to show you how nice and full. I'm going to have to move this one flower because it covers up his face a little bit too much for me. There we go. So I just took a bow. So the bow's not big, but it does add a little bit of color and kind of some whimsy to that side. I'm just going to turn it all the way around. So even though it's not as full back here, you can still see all the greens, and it's covering up the back of the bunny. So if you wanted, you could add some more flowers, which I may, because this is going to be on my kitchen table, so it will show. Not to a lot of people, but... So I expect you guys all to get you some kind of a base with some dry foam, glue it on, and just start sticking in your greens first. And your greens should come out as far as what you want it. So if you don't want yours this big, then trim back your greenery pieces and stick them in further into your dry foam. And then next, just start filling it in with some fun, whimsical florals or Easter eggs or whatever you have that you want to use. And like I said, there's no right or wrong. They're all going to be unique and they're all going to be pretty. I'm just sticking, I found 2 more pieces of some florals. I'm just going to stick in the back here. Okay, now I feel better. So I hope you enjoyed it. I am so glad to be back and designing with you guys. And like I said, I'm going to try and do a different design every day this week since I've been gone. And I have all kinds of cute little Eastery things that I kind of want to show you to give you some ideas on how you can decorate your home for spring and Easter. And one last thing, remember, after Easter, I'll show you how I'm just going to take this guy out and we're just going to fill in with something different. And we're going to keep this out all through spring. So have a great day and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.